Hey everyone, this is Kieran from MSK Physio. Today's exercise is going to be about looking to learn how to extend our neck. Some of our other videos have focused a bit more on the ability to extend our head on our neck. This is a little bit more spinal focused. If you've had injuries around the neck, whether they're whiplash related or concussions, or you've just had neck strains in the past where you feel like you've lost some mobility in the neck, these will be some good exercises for you. Discussion in some of the other videos around neck extension and head extension around some of the biomechanics. If that stuff's of interest to you, sort of the why behind why we choose to do these exercises and the ways we do them, then go have a watch of those and I guess get some context around what we're doing. But to keep things nice and succinct here is that the head has an ability to nod and it can do that movement independent of spine movement, meaning that the spine can be still while I nod my head. The same is also true. I could keep my head still and move my neck through some ranges. And depending on what you've injured, you might need to be able to learn to dissociate these things, or you might have to learn how to just build some tolerance into that dissociation. So like, oh, I can move them separately from each other, but how long can it last? Can it last for as long as I need? So if you've been having some trouble with neck-related discomfort, sometimes it's going to be, we're looking at probably more like the mid to lower and all the way down into our back. You know, some of these muscles go way, way down into our thoracic spine. As we've talked about, a lot of these muscles in the spine are like parallel train tracks. A lot of them overlap, a lot of them end, and others keep going on. And some of them sort of veer off to the side. So there's a lot of potential movement, and we're never really truly isolating, but we can kind of limit movement in some places and encourage movement in others. So in saying that, we need to consider our setup position. So as always, we're coming into this sort of prone propped position because it's a nice stable position to learn to move our head from. And I'm gonna push my elbows down into the ground and then start lifting up. Now, the reason I'm gonna really focus on lifting up nice and high here is because I wanna get my lumbar spine or my lower back, this area here, into extension. And the reason I want to do that is because if it's already an extension, then it can't help extend further. The reason that is it might be a spot you go to. Now, some of these neck extensors aren't going to go down that far into your lumbar spine, but they get pretty close. You know, we're talking like lower thoracic, sort of T10 to T12-ish area. Probably not T12, but, you know, low down. We're looking at a lot of our coli muscles, and a lot of these guys are quite central. Central to the midline. So by coming up nice and high, I'm pushing down through my elbows, lumbar spine's extended a bit, and I'm actually going to try and limit head extension. I'm going to limit the amount that my head does that movement where I'm going forward this way, only because I'm trying to limit the movement of the muscles that move the head on the neck. I'm more interested in the ones that maybe start more in the spine here, in the cervical spine, and go into this region. I want to try and focus on that movement. So all I'm going to do is keep my chin tucked, be up nice and high, and by keeping my chin tucked, now I'm going to try and push my chest. And by chest, this breastbone right here, I'm going to try and push it forward in between my hands. So I'm bringing it up and going this way. I'm trying to push it that way. I'm trying to push my chest that way, keeping the chin tucked the whole time. So up nice and tall, chin tucked, and pushing, 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 pushing. And then I'll start to finish with some neck stuff. And then coming back down. Make sure to keep breathing. Good, and coming back down. You're gonna probably feel other muscles trying to help out. So for me, for right now, I can feel kind of my right hamstring kicking in a bit, and I can feel more of the right side of my erectors. Some of that has to do with some of basically our kinetic chains. In terms of synergistic movement, my right hamstring is going to be helping out with my left erectors, so that makes sense. I can feel my left ones less, and I'm feeling my right hamstring try to help out through tension, and then I can feel my right erectors fine, so my left hamstring is nice and quiet. So are we getting other movements going on? Absolutely. We're just trying to bias. And the key with this is that we've tried to take one end of the spine and put it into its max range, so extension in the lumbar, so we limit the contribution from there. And then we're trying to keep our chin tucked to limit its ability to extend and help out. You could take it a different angle and go into max head extension first. So there, push my chin forward, and then try and come up again. And you might get some different sort of sensations or contractions, and just keep the head layer forward the whole time. But you can see I start to go into more of a shoulder blade thing than a true sort of back into flexion, which is why I like keeping the chin tucked. It sort of keeps your focus into the spine, and you can use your eyes, as always, to guide the movement. So working through that, be conservative. If this is your problem, there's potential for flare-up. Flare-up just means you've worked things out beyond their capacity. So take it back, do less, and slowly build up your tolerance. If you have any questions on this stuff, please ask. If you like this video, then please hit like below. Otherwise, to check out more of our content in the future, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking our logo over here. And to check out our latest video, click up here.